It is indeed an exciting day. One guy who has no shortage of excitement, BTN analyst J Leman. And Jay, before we get into some of the specifics, I know you love this sport. You love college football. You particularly love Big Ten football. And again, look, we all understand that this is a best case scenario, what was laid out here today. But there still is, for the first time in a while, at least from where I sit, an excitement and an expectation and just a smidgen of normalcy in our world here today.
Right. No, you grew up in the Midwest in the fall, and there's simply nothing like Big Ten football in the fall. And it feels like we're going to get not just a piece of that, but a whole boatload of that with 10 conference games. I want to just second what a lot of people have said on the mathematical genius that is the Big Ten Conference, whoever did that, with the flexibility, trying to be as safe as possible. I think we all realize, like you said, tentatively, this is the best option moving forward, but that's all subject to change. I just know from a former player perspective, from a guy that works in college football like you guys, and I know the players and coaches are excited to at least have a chance to compete for a Big Ten championship this year.
Aside from the mathematics of it all and the flexibility that was built in, what stands out to you about the schedule, Jay?
Just you're going to have to be ready to play from day one. You know, we see the season opener right there Thursday night, Ohio State at Illinois. I don't want to say anything bad about maybe a non-Power 5 conference, a Group of 5 conference game, or even an FCS game. Certainly, we've seen our share of upsets in this conference around the country, but I do believe that every Big Ten football player will tell you that when you enter conference play, you better buckle up each and every game from the top to the bottom of the conference, and you got to be ready to play. I think you'll see offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators throw more cards out early. You know, I think you could see Justin Fields, although their schedule seems to be a little bit, backloaded, in my opinion. I think you can see him running the ball earlier, as opposed to they saved him to run the ball later. So you look at different ways you coach, how you get a team through a season. We don't know how long the season's going to be. So do you shoot all your bullets when you can early, or are you saving up? It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell. It's going to be one of those operative phrases here. And so from a player's point of view, what are the challenges of kind of heading into this season where there is so much uncertainty looming over you?
Well, they didn't have spring ball, number one, but I actually think that's a good thing. I think college football players, honestly, after a 12, maybe 13, maybe 14, if you go to a playoff, 15-game season, it can be kind of difficult to recover in the spring, and spring ball is a drag. I think we're going to see healthier football players from a physical perspective outside of course, the virus, but healthy as in their bodies, arms, legs, joints will feel better. I think you're going to see fresher players. I think you're going to see players from the jump give everything they have. Not that they haven't in the past, but I think there's more of an urgency when it comes to conference games. And one conference game loss in a 10-game season could be the difference from you getting to Indy or not getting to Indy. So it's a quasi every game counts kind of thing. I don't think there's much room for error at all.
Jay, it's interesting. We have seen in recent days players opting out of playing this season. Some of them, Rashad Bateman being the obvious example in the Big Ten, saying, well, I'm going to prepare myself for the NFL draft. He's a surefire NFL draft pick, probably a first-round pick. There are some others. Rayvon Bonner at Illinois said, I'm just going to sit out because of the health concerns. I'm just not comfortable playing this season. There are going to be decisions that individuals have to make because those are the best decisions for those individuals. Those decisions will have repercussions on the team as a whole. From a player's point of view, how do you think guys are going to be able to kind of process those individual decisions being made by their teammates?
Yeah, I think that's first of all, Rashad Bateman's probably the biggest announcement thus far. What a star he was last year. I think he would be a first-team All-American this year. I think it drastically changes the outlook of Minnesota football and what they want to do offensively. But how do you respond as a teammate? One, I think you always want to put the health and beliefs of your teammate first. And so I think Minnesota's, and I saw PJ Fleck's tweet, was nothing but supportive to Rashad Bateman. I'm sure his teammates are supportive. At the same time, it's a personal decision for everybody. We want to respect that. But there is no doubt that losing a player like Rashad Bateman or even Rayvon Bonner in Illinois because of the dangers of playing during this COVID-19 outbreak, it's going to affect the team. And someone is going to have to fill the shoes, rather large shoes, of Rashad Bateman, any player that steps out.
J Leman, really interesting insights as always. Thanks a lot for your time and look forward to working through this schedule with you.
Let's get it done, fellas.